All right, this is another tutorial video on the use of Smart Notebook software to create multimedia presentations for use in the classroom. Topic of this particular lesson is navigation buttons. So there are some fabricated buttons that you can find in the gallery. You can use those to set up, you know, forward, back, previous, next buttons. You can set up some buttons to link to the internet, or you can set up just about anything. Any object anywhere could be a button that you use to link from one place to the next. Um, so kind of like hyperlinks in PowerPoint, you can use the link tool in Smart Notebook to make anything a button. We'll talk about also using the prefabricated buttons. Well, obviously what buttons give you is the ability to use a nonlinear approach. I reference this more than I should, but if you've ever seen the Whack-A-Mole game, that game is a nonlinear game based on buttons. You're like, no, they're little moles, and you throw a yeah, okay, they're moles, but those moles have been made into buttons that link to different pages. So at any rate, that's what we're going to talk about here is both buttons and then how you could use those to create a nonlinear approach. So here's my blank page, and what I'm going to do is first I'll look at those prefabricated buttons, and so I'll go to my gallery, and what I'm going to do, you can see I've actually already done it, so let me undo that a little bit, is I'm going to type in down here in the search bar, I'm going to type in, well, okay, buttons, and then when I search buttons, here's what pulls up. I've got 5 folders, 13 pictures, 9 interactive and multimedia, and then one notebook and page. That doesn't really matter. I would be looking for pictures, which these are pictures of buttons you can see, or I would look for these are the prefab ones. So these are you can see first, next, previous, last, and these are first, previous, next, last buttons also. So these are the basic buttons. I can insert. Let's do a previous button here and a next button, and then we'll do previous and next in the other colors as well. So these are my buttons, and if you wanted to, you could set them up top of the page, bottom of the page, whatever your preferences were. But you can see I accidentally pushed that button, and now I'm back not where I wanted to be. So at any rate, using these buttons, they function just as any other button would, as you can guess. If you click this button, it takes you back. Click this button, it takes you to the next page, right? Same thing here, back, next page. So those are the prefabricated buttons. Pretty simple. Um, let me see if I can do this. No, I can't. Um, so that's yeah. So those are the prefabricated buttons, and those could be useful if you don't use your navigation buttons. Having those buttons on a screen, if you go full screen view, might be something that would be useful to you. I use my navigation buttons on my menus, so I don't really need those kinds of next and back buttons. At any rate, that's that. We can also make anything else into a button also. So let's just pull up a picture, and we'll just use this button picture at this point. And at this point, it's not a button. You see, I click on it, nothing happens. But if I right-click on it, or if I click and use the pull-down menu, I can go to Link. And in that Link menu, I can link it to a web page, a page in this file. I could, link it to a file or a current attachment. I'm just going to link it to the title page and then click. This is a pet peeve of mine. Launch by clicking a corner icon. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why it's the default, but I want to click the object and then have that link somewhere. So I'm going to click OK, and now when I click on this button, it'll take me back to the title slide. So very fancy stuff, but you could use it to set up a nonlinear approach to whatever it is you're doing. So um, I got to stop clicking on that button, I guess. Um, so that's the links. If I wanted to do a table of contents, then I'd have to obviously create a couple things. one of the things that I'd have to do is obviously set up my the buttons that I need for my table of contents. I'm just going to clone this a couple times. And if this were example, my table, for example, if this were my table of contents, let's make it look like that. Then I would obviously have to put some text on top of these so that I knew what each of those buttons was doing. And then I would go through and link each of those to a different page in my presentation. Having the ability to go nonlinear is great. It can help make things more student-centered for children, and that's always a good idea. So let's just go to, there we go. So each of those buttons now has a link. The one thing that you'll definitely have to make sure you take care of, though, if you're going nonlinear, is you'll need a table of contents button on each of your slides. So um, let me cut this and I'll put it someplace else. So um, if this slide, if this button, that's nice. Oh, I did the corner icon thing. See the default got me there. So let's go back to link and see how the corner icon, so that tiny little icon is what's making it a link. Let's click on object and click OK, and we'll do that for all of them real quickly here. Object, OK, link, object, OK. So if I click on this button, now I'm going to paste that table of contents button that I had here, and I'm going to link that, and your table of contents buttons will always need to link back to your table of contents. So let's make it object, click OK, and now I can copy this and then put it on any of the other slides that I need it on, which is every other slide that I'm linking to. And now when I link on it, takes me here, takes me back here. I guess I didn't, let me paste one here. There we go. And takes me back here. So I now have all my slides linked back to my table of contents. Again, that's something that could be useful depending on how you're going to set up your presentation and what exactly you're doing. So I hope that was enough and quick enough when talking about buttons and going nonlinear. And that's it for this. Thanks.